Welcome to the Citrix Essentials Automated Lab Management demo. Automated Lab Management brings easy-to-use self-service provisioning and high levels of lifecycle automation to your existing virtualization environments. With Automated Lab Management, you can empower and offload routine tasks such as environment provisioning and cleanup to development, test, and support teams, thus allowing them to quickly build and access complex testing environments without having to involve IT administrators in the process. It leads to big time savings for everyone involved and even makes creating and sharing complex environments between teams a simple and easy process. Citrix Automated Lab Management is all web-based for easy access. Here I'm going to log in as a user on the system and show you how I can self-provision and configure my own testing environments. You can see I have an existing single VM environment set up for doing some CRM app testing. Now I need to set up a new environment for testing out the next release of Zen Center, so I can select from a set of existing resources made available to me, such as existing virtual machines, software packages, install CDs, and scripts. I need a new Client XP environment, so I'll select this base right here and show you a couple deployment options for the environment. So I'll give this environment a descriptive name so I can remember what it's for in the future. And then I can modify the lease time. This is how long the system will keep the environment around for me to use. At the end of the lease, this environment is automatically deleted and all the resources are returned for myself or others to use. This is a powerful capability that actively combats VM sprawl, which in typical environments wastes a great deal of resources and can cause big-time management pain. The last step is to set up the networking for this environment. I can choose to connect it to different types of networks in my physical environment, or even keep it totally isolated, depending on my needs. So now I hit deploy to fire up this new environment. While that's deploying, let's take a look at how you can deal with much more complex configurations. Real testing and development environments, after all, require many more systems. Let's take a quick look at this existing, more complex configuration that has 4 different virtual machines. I'm going to edit this configuration so we can look at some of the powerful options for more complex test setups. Just like you saw with the simple configuration, I can adjust the descriptive names and the lease times, and also adjust any of the environment networking setup as well. You can see I have an app server, database server, and 2 client systems in this configuration. You can add more VMs or even change the type of VMs depending on your needs. Let's drill down on this database server. Here you can see I have a palette of operations that I can apply to this specific VM. This sync operation allows you to synchronize actions across multiple VMs, which provides a really powerful mechanism to handle dependencies and automation. Here you can see how easy it is to add operations such as installing software, in this case a Java runtime, then perhaps upload some files, and finally kick off a command, all within the virtual machine. This allows you to start with a generalized environment, and then the user can totally customize it with these automation operations. This can then be saved for future use, run immediately, or even shared with others that are using the system. So now let's go back to the original configuration we deployed at the start of this demo. At this point, you can see it's all up and running, and now I can actually access and interact with this environment right from the same web-based system. And if you have multiple virtual machines, you can actually interact with all of them on the same exact page. Plus, this system gives me all the control I need over these systems, so if I need to reboot or shut down one of my VMs, it's not a problem. I can do it right here, and no IT involvement is needed. It's all self-service. And I can even add additional components from the same operations palette we saw just a minute ago with the complex configuration. So here I can install a Firefox browser for some web testing while this VM is up and running. And when I switch over to the console again, you will see the Firefox icon pop up on the desktop once it's installed. When I get this testing set up just the way I need it, I then have the ability to take a snapshot of the whole setup for future use by myself, or I can even share it with others on my team. And now, once I'm done with my testing, I can destroy this environment manually, cleaning up all the disk space and resources. But keep in mind that when I created this setup, I set a lease date, so it's automatically going to clean itself up if I happen to leave it behind and forget about it. This ability to automatically retire unused environments is the key to controlling VM server sprawl. In virtual test dev environments without this automated lab management technology, you end up with tons of virtual machines sitting around, no longer being used, just sucking up resources in your environment. Thanks for watching the demo. I think you'll agree that Citrix Essentials lab management for Xen Server and Hyper-V brings easy-to-use self-service provisioning and high levels of lifecycle automation to your existing virtualization environments. It leads to big cost and time savings for IT and the test, development, and support teams using their virtualization services.